Welcome to the next video in our Proxmox series. And in this video, we are going to set up networking. So that means we're going to install another switch, and then we'll install adapters, and we'll go ahead and set up our configuration so that each machine picks up the IP addresses that we had set up before with our network segments or our VLANs. Some of it we have already configured inside of pfSense. On the pfSense side, we've already configured those settings and the IP ranges, but now what we need to do is set it up on the Proxmox side. So what we want to do now is to configure our networking. So the first thing we want to do is install Open vSwitch. So to do that, under our node where we select PVE in this case, go to the shell. This basically gives us command line access to the server. And we want to run apt install Open vSwitch. Select yes, we want to continue. And now that we have that installed, what we should be able to do is go to network, and we're still under our node. We will select create, and then we'll go down to the OVS bridge. This should be the bridge that we just created. And on this one, we want to just call this VLAN bridge or VLAN interface. So we select create, and now what we want to do is to set up our actual VLANs. So what we're going to do is use that int port to create our VLAN. So we want to go to create, then OVS int port. And on the first one, we're just going to make this simple. We'll just name it VLAN 10. We'll keep the bridge, and we want to give it a tag. So it's easiest just to keep the name of the port and the tag the same. So it's going to be VLAN 10. And then we can select create. And we'll also go ahead and create VLAN 20 and 30 the same way. So it's create OVS int port. VLAN 20. We'll give it the VLAN tag at 20. Same bridge, OVS bridge. And then lastly, we'll go ahead and create one more OVS int port. This is VLAN 30. With the VLAN tag of 30. So now what we want to do is go to our pfSense machine, and we want to basically link these adapters on pfSense to the ones that we just created on the switch. So the first one, we will select our VLAN interface. The VLAN tag we want is on the first one is 10. I think everything else can stay the same. The second one, we just want to go with 20. And on the third one, we want to set VLAN tag 30. Select OK. Now we have all the adapters set up. We have them pointing to our switch. So now what we want to do is go to each of our virtual machine and set up the network device. So I've already set this one. That we want to select bridge VMBR2 because that is the bridge that I set up for the VLANs, and I want to go VLAN 10. So VLAN 10 is going to be the eCore network. So we set the first one for Kali Linux. So Kali Linux is going to be the attack network. So we want to put that into VLAN 3 or 30. So the bridge is VMBR2. Now it may be VMBR1, and when you set it up, I had set one up and I deleted it. But to set them up, just make sure that you select your VLAN bridge, and that was the one that you created, and then select the right VLAN tag. So in this case, I'm setting up tag or VLAN 30. That's going to be my attack VLAN. The next couple, the next Windows machine and the DC, I'm going to set up in VLAN 10. That one's already set up. The domain controller I will set up. And it looks like it's already selected. I just need to start it. So basically, if you have a change to the configuration and it hasn't taken place yet, you'll see the red or the orange writing underneath the current configuration. So for Kali Purple, I'm going to set that up in VLAN 20 because that's going to be sort of where our blue team stuff is going to be, or in the all safe VLAN. So I'll go to the network device, and we already have that set up as well, VLAN 20 with VMBR2. The Ubuntu server, the same, because I'm probably going to install Velociraptor or something on that one. So it's going to be VLAN 20 also. Got pfSense, and these two machines I'm not going to worry about right now. These are sort of backups. So we have all that configured. I've started already the Windows 10-1, and if I pull this over to the screen, if we run ipconfig, this should have a 10.0.1 IP address. And we do. So it's 10.0.1.2. So when we start the next machine, the Windows 10-2, when we start it, and we run ipconfig, we should see the same thing again. We should see a 10.0.1 IP address. Okay, we do 10.0.1.4. So basically, it looks like our network configuration is working. We'll confirm it with the domain controller. Once again, this should be in the 10.0.1 IP range. And it is. It's .5. So what you'll see here is we got 2 IP addresses. So I need to really disable that additional network card. So if we go back to, we look at the DC, see I have 2 network cards. So this one I can remove. We don't need it. Now if I go back to the domain controller, and we run ipconfig again, there we just get the one IP address and just one network adapter, and it is the correct IP range. So we'll start Kali Purple. And I'm going to change this to Spice. We'll start it. We'll log into it. Open a terminal. And this is at 10.0.2, so that is correct because this is in the all safe LAN. So I'll go ahead and start the Ubuntu server. Before I do that, I'm going to set it to Spice also. So on the Linux machine, just hit Spice, give it 128 megabytes of for the graphics card. And then for the machine, you want to make sure that it's Q35. Select OK. And it was already running, so next time I start it, it will start. So we log in. Get the IP address, should be in the .2, and it is the 10.0.2.5. We've just confirmed all of our networking is working at this point. A couple things we still have to do. We're not quite finished, but everything appears to be in order. What we want to do next is configure our firewall rules, and then we will configure our domain controller after that. So I will see you in the next video.